What is going on, friends? Sean Don coming back with a technical analysis. Here we have Alex Kristeller. Kristeller? Not exactly sure how to say it, but I know of him. Division III Widener, coached by Tyler Williams, D3 stud. So, before we get into today's video, head on over to gripandrip.co if you're in need of any online coaching services, technical analysis, throws programming, lifting programming, whatever it is. Also, we got merch now. Grip and Rip merch. Live the lifestyle. Let the people know what you're about. Grip and Rip, baby. All right, so go check it out, gripandrip.co, and just sign up for some things. You know, help grow the sport, help grow the brand. I want to give back to the sport, and I can't do that if I don't grow the brand. So go check it out. Alrighty, so let's get into this. Yeah, Alex sent me a couple different videos. I think 16 and a 6K and a 12, and I think this is the 16. The 6K was also pretty good, but I like the angle of this one. It's easier to see things. It's more from the back of the ring, and I think there is just a little bit more, not going wrong, but there's more that could be improved in this video. That being said, I have seen some of your videos before, and I am a fan of your technique. I think it's pretty good. Good posture, good hips, pretty decent patience. I think if you just need to change your alignment a little bit, if that makes sense. I don't know, we'll talk about it, but that's just first glimpse. Yeah, so 16-pound hammer. All right, let's go. Let's break it down. So starting with you got the Rudy Winkler start off to your right side. Also technically the Connor McCullough start, but yeah. So posture's really good. Looks like your proportions are pretty dope. Like it's easy for you to sit down and get your hips in. There's like this weird little like funky thing you do with your feet. Just pointing it out. Don't think it actually matters. If you're comfortable with it, that's cool. You know, just a little bit of weeble wobble there. And then perhaps in the second wind, I think maybe you do extend forwards a bit much with the hips. As you can see, you're very forward on your toes. But not a huge deal. Like if you're comfortable with it, like you handle it pretty well. Like I said, you get your hips under you, you work your hips pretty well throughout the throw. So it's not a huge deal. But I just know that this little bit of one between the weeble wobbles in the feet and then the hips coming forwards might create some instability. But like I said, you're pretty good at keeping it chill. Right elbow down, really holding this left side pretty well. Really patient with the ball. I really like this left side stable coming back. You're staying centered, almost back over the right a little bit more. A little bit of lift up, but you are doing 3 turns. I think maybe, let me see, coming off that heel. Decent direction. Turning with the ball really well. The color of your shorts just really tripped me out for a second, but good direction. Like this is what I love. This lower body position here. Your hips are tucked underneath you. This is phenomenal. Right leg, left leg, like down on this left side. Like really tidy lower body movement. And then I think you could have just a little bit more direction this first turn though. A little bit more forward onto that toe, on that left toe, whereas like you turn to the left, or the side of the left foot, and then you just kind of stay there, and then you just barely get forward on that toe just at the very end. I think you have just a little bit more direction forwards. That might help. But otherwise, if you catch, hips look underneath you, you're centered, sturdy base, really solid turns here, like whole body's turning together. Ball's back over this right leg a little bit, and then this left side comes back. Great position, great lower body here. Like I said, I'm really a fan of your lower body. Real tidy stuff there. Love this position. Look how tight that foot is. Like this is dope. As we go on, real sturdy, real sturdy. And then nice position there again. You catch back over this left side and then work the hips up into the throw very well. So like honestly, dude, throw's pretty good, but and especially in terms of like the minutia, like the turning, the lower body, the posture, all that stuff's pretty good. The thing that I see big time though is like your path through the ring. Like I said, you could use a little bit more direction towards 180, whereas you have the tendency to go down this right sector line. right, so how you fix that, I'll give you my opinion, but and what I think you just need to fix is just being more centered. All right, so you're just a little bit too around the left side, uh, and I think that is because you don't. And this is going to sound weird, but you don't pull the left side back enough. Uh, so after hammer goes through 0, all right, you're setting this up really well, and the entry doesn't matter too much. But then you can start to see where the hips go. All right, where are the hips going after this turn? You're just getting pulled around the left a little bit here. So like I said, it's that direction in the first turn. All right, you got to have a little bit more pressure through, I think, this left heel. A little bit more pressure, hips could come back a little bit more, or even as the ball goes more left, this left side could pull back a little bit more, where like you're staying with the ball incredibly well, but it's almost too well, where like you're not doing enough acting against the hammer, like you're letting the hammer overtake you just a little bit. You're playing tug of war, and the hammer's just pulling on you just like 1% more than it's pulling on you. And like I said, I think that's where this kind of loss of direction comes from, where if you push back through the left heel a little bit more, get on the side of the foot, and then drop this left knee down, kind of, you can even think about dropping the left knee down to 180, or you can think about dropping it down kind of like sideways, laterally. Drop this left knee down towards the ground over here, and that'll help you kind of stay a little bit more centered. And then you catch, like I said, because I think you catch a little bit too over this left heel to start. I think I'd like to see this right foot just a little bit more over there, right hip a little bit more forward. I'd like to see just the hips a little bit more like over, kind of where like what would be this Nike sign right there. But this your whole body really just needs to come more centered. And this is kind of what I think you did better in the 6K, because it is lighter, so it takes less counter, I say that in quotations, to stay centered because there's less force pulling on you. So with that, I mean, the system that you got going is pretty set. Same thing here. You start to see this left side pull back a little bit, hips come up into the hammer. I think the more you could get your hips up this way, and the more you could get a little bit more of a backwards lean in your torso here. Whereas, like I said, you're pretty straight up and down. So, like, your posture's good, your hips are tucked under, but a little bit more backwards lean. All right? Get your hips up, get your shoulders back. That's a part of pulling the left side back, is getting that backwards lean. So, hammer goes around the left. And then, like I said, really tidy hips and turn there. This is better. So now you start to see this right hip get up into it more. This kind of reminds me of Nick Miller in a way. But same thing here, hips up, and then you don't really quite. You get your shoulders could be back a little bit more. You could get back more of this backwards torso lean, and that'll help you have I guess, a more efficient single support. You'll be able to put a little bit more torque on the ball in single support. So you need to think about almost kind of, you want to fall off balance. So like you're very well balanced throughout the throw, but I think you need to do a better job of perhaps being off balance at the end of double support. So really good balance here. You want to be off balance a little bit more, where, like I said, just a little bit more torso lean this way, and that'll help keep you centered. And then you just got to get back to this position every single turn, and then get through on the finish. All right, so like, not a ton to fix here. Like I said, you just got to stay more centered. Like if you just think about, let's see if we go to entry. Go to entry and you're right here. All right, if you were to draw like a tube or a center or a rectangle, whatever you want to say, you draw a line on your right side, draw a line on your left side. You more or less want to be in that same sort of space every single turn. All right, actually, I think I might be able to draw. I'm going to do this. I'm going to play around with this. Yeah, let's see what happens here. I don't know what this is going to look like. Line. Boom. So you want this line there, and that line there. And then as we go through, I don't think this is going to work. I don't know. Turn that off. Okay, well, that didn't really work, right? But, yeah, so you draw those lines. You kind of want to stay there where, like I said, you're just getting pulled around the left a little bit much. Pulled around the left a little bit much. Pulled around the left a little bit much. So a little bit more patience, a little bit more left side pulling back, a little bit more backwards torso lean. And just got to stay centered. All right, like I said, it comes through a little bit of left leg pressure, left hip pulling back a little bit more, left shoulder pulling back a little bit more, left knee spiraling open a little bit more in single support. Okay, and you'll be well on your way. All right, this is a pretty good throw. Like I said, I'm a fan of your technique in general. I wish I had a lower body like yours. All right. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, Alex. Hit up Tyler. Let me know. Let him know. Ask me questions, whatever. We can talk about it more. Happy to help you out. And if anybody else out there would like a technical analysis, online coaching of any kind, hit me up, gripandrip.co. Like I said, go buy some merch and support the brand. Just support the sport. Alrighty? I want to sponsor athletes and I want to be able to give back and help support people doing what they love. All right. So thank you for watching. Until next time, Sean Don signing off.